All right, Adam. So Powerball for this Wednesday. Hold on. Was it January 13th?
Yep.
Is $1.4 billion. Has to be the highest jackpot they've had.
It has. The last one was the Saturday's drawing, which was at what, 900 million?
Yeah.
And now this one, this one's the new record.
Yeah. Now I remember about 4 or 6 months ago they changed the rules to make the jackpots a little higher, and they got their money's worth, and maybe somebody else will get their money's worth.
Well,
So, what do you think about it? What do you think about Lotto in general?
I'm not opposed to any form of gambling. I think any money that you earn, you should be able to spend how you choose, including prostitution and including drugs, as long as you're not bothering anybody. I think in the land of the free, having restrictions on purchases is a ridiculous thing. And I will, because a $1.4 billion return on investment for, let's say, $10, $15, whatever I'm gonna end up spending, is a really good investment. I might lose that money in the stock market, but sure enough, I'm gonna put $10 if there's a slim chance I could win $1.4 billion. Absolutely, I'll do it.
Well, I mean, the thing is that it's not. I mean, that's what people say about this. That it's that it's like investing, but it's really not. I mean, it's not even like true gambling. Like I don't like slot. If I have $10 that I'm going to put in a slot, I do not expect at any moment in time I will get that money back or earn anything on that money, because I don't believe there's any skill to it.
Right.
So it's not an investment to me. Now, if I was good at poker, I would consider that investment.
Let me define what I mean by investment. If you put money in stocks, just like people have realized in the past week because of the stock market crashing, you could lose all that money.
That's true, except for the part where there's people that can see, down the road most of the time when things are going to happen. So they move money around to protect themselves a little bit. You can't do that with Lotto. You're all in.
Well, I guess another way I'll put it is just like, I invest in equipment to do my job that will make me money and has made me money. You had to spend money to make money, and that's one of these cases. And if I could buy a camera for $15 that got me $1.4 billion, I would certainly buy that camera. Now, of course, there's no guarantee, and that's the thing that people got to remember, is that there's a chance that money's gonna disappear, and the chance of that happening is higher than you winning, a lot higher.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, I would rather take the chance and regret not taking it than, there's a very, 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 very slim chance I'll win that money. And hey, why not? Because I'm not, I wouldn't do it for $5 million because it's just not that big of it's a risk to reward type of deal.
Yeah. Well, the issue is, and I was trying to talk to Walt about this because he thinks it's weird that people play when it's that high and not when it's $5 million. I said, because it's always $5 million. It starts out like at 10 or 15 or something like that. It's always that. So you're playing twice a week. So you have all this money going out, and have you ever won?
Yep.
However, if you don't play ever, then you never have any chance of winning. So if you play once or you play a billion times, every time you play are the same odds. That's what a lot of people don't understand about, lottery. Most type of gambling is that your odds reset. it's not that, you play, you played for, so many years or something and you're entitled to it. That's what we were talking about before, entitlement. And that's what people feel. So, they get disappointed when they lose or something.
Right.
But when it's that high, when it starts getting $400 or $400, $500, $600 million, I blow more than $2 a week on dumb shit. Either losing money or, buying something I didn't need or buying something I already had and I forgot and then now I can't take it back.
Right.
So $2 isn't going to break me. I
wasted $12. I had to recover an email address that Hotmail was locking me out of, and they were telling me that they have, the alternate email that was on file was for a domain name that I no longer had. So in order to get that email back, because it was asking me like, what's your first name, what's your last name, I had all that information, but I didn't have it in the profile. So, and I don't remember like the last 10 emails that I sent from that account, because that last time I used that account was like probably 8 months ago.
Yeah.
It's like, but unfortunately that account is tied to one of my YouTube accounts. And what I did, and what I should have did at first, and I'm dumb for not even trying. I should have went on YouTube, and actually now you got to go on Google Plus to do this. I should have went on Google Plus and changed my email address. I didn't know you were able to do that so easily, because they used to make it so that if you would change your email address, it would send the current email address, an authorization email. And they change it now so that you can actually change the address, and then all it does is it sends an email saying, hey, there's been activity on your account. The primary email address is now changed to something different. You can ignore this email if that change is okay. Otherwise, follow this link.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit. Whatever. My point is that was $12. And whatever, man. I would look like I was saying on Walt's post. It's like it's a higher payoff. I never play the lottery ever. So if I'm gonna play it, it needs to be worth my while. And $1 billion is certainly worth my while to spend. I don't know. How much do the tickets cost? See, I don't even know how much the ticket costs.
$2.
Okay, so I'll buy probably $10, maybe $12 worth of tickets.
Yeah.
And if that $12 leads me to having $1.4 billion, it was certainly a worthwhile spending of that money. And even if I lose, like I said, it's kind of like asking a girl out. I would rather ask the girl out and her say no. There's so many girls that I've talked to that are now married, who I told them I had crushes on in high school, and they said, this is like one-on-one, so it wasn't like they were trying to whatever. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they were taking sympathy, whatever. But regardless, I believe them when they say, "Oh yeah, I would have went out with you."
Yeah.
There's like 5 girls I had told that have told me this now.
Oh.
And I just didn't have the So it's like you gotta take the chance in order to get the reward.
Well, that's what I tell people too, is that, there's a it's like 290 million to 1 odd to win, or something like that. 214, I don't know. 200 something million to 1 that you'll win. But if you don't buy a ticket, it's $1 billion to 1, or $1 billion to 0, or 1 to 0. You're going to lose, because you're going to lose. You don't have a ticket.
Yep.
If you can't win you can't win a radio contest in a city you don't live in and you don't listen to that radio station. You have to be in the game.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't feel like shelling out even $4 a week on, one ticket every time, because I don't expect that. That's not my time in. It's like, working at my job now. You put money away for retirement because you're going to see that money later, and you'll see the benefit of working for the same company later. but I'm not going to see that later necessarily. But when it comes to some retarded amount of money, putting $2 on the table that I mean, with my job, I can make by forgetting something and having to walk back to the truck and then come back. Wasting that much time at work, I can make that much money. I'm not going to even blink. I'm going to put those $2 down.
Right. I mean, I have I just went through all the change I had in my car and all the change that I had on my dresser that just accumulates. That's where I put my change when I get home.
Yeah.
Either in the car or on the dresser, and I have probably $20 worth of change.
Yeah. And you know what? If you're like me, you put it on the dresser, and the kids fuck with it, take it away, put it in their pocket, forget about it. Because, honestly, just how school lunches work, my son doesn't use money. He's starting to get it. He's starting to understand how money works, but he doesn't use money. When I was in first grade, I'd have to take money and buy lunch.
Yeah.
And if I found 35 cents, I got extra milk that day. I knew that. But he doesn't, so when he sees a coin or something, he just likes that it's round and shiny, he can do shit with it. He can do he knows a magic trick he can do with it. So he takes it. He doesn't know. But how many times has he done that? 3 times this week, 4 times this week? And then my daughter, she probably has eaten a few pennies and dimes and shit. It's just how it is. So you're missing money all the time. So,
right.
It's not like they're asking you, okay, you're going to put $2,000 down, and we're going to see if you're going to win, $1.4 billion, and you have the same odds.
Exactly. I would not buy a ticket for $2,000.
Yeah. But like I was saying with gambling, with poker, that's why poker is an investment if you know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, stay the fuck off the table and play online with the free shit or the dollar thing.
Right.
But they'll put down $2,000 to win $1 million. And they won't hesitate because that's their job. They'll get up to winning $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and they'll make a little bit on their return, or they'll get lucky, with their skill, because it's 2 parts, luck and skill.
Well,
and they might win the $1 million, but that's such a bigger, such a closer relation, that to me would be scary. But $2 for 1.4 billion.
Yeah, no. and that's all you got to do is buy one ticket.
Yeah. Oh, you only need one.
I keep saying $12. That's I plan on buying 5 or 6 tickets, but you only need one, and you only need to spend $2. A homeless guy could buy a ticket, and he could be a billionaire. By the way,
that's why I said there's a point where if you had enough money, and I think it's 18 million or something. You could go out right now and purchase every combination of numbers. But let's say you fuck up and forget one because it'd be 36 billion. Let's say you fuck up or forget one because that's a lot of different combinations or something, and it's that one. So you just lost $18 million. So nobody's going to do that. And
right.
Then, Donald Trump, he doesn't even fucking worry about playing it because what the hell is he going to, he probably makes that much in, a couple months.
Well, the other thing is when you get to a certain level of wealth, you kind of get the attitude of, I've made enough money. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And, I'm not going to, bother with some of that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's his business. And if you read different books on business and stuff, his business is all about cash flow. He has no clue or really cares how much money he has because he knows if he wants it, he can buy it. He would just have to move some things around, but if he wants it, he can get it. So thinking about making more money isn't an issue for him. somebody like, let's say Adam Carolla, where instead of worth a couple billion, he's probably worth a couple million. If you take all of the stuff he owns and stuff,
Right.
Well, he's not even going to do it because in the time that he wasted to go get a ticket, each of these times nobody won that have been a big deal. He probably could have made $20,000-$30,000, and that's how those people work.
Guaranteed.
People that are like medium. We'll call them medium rich because, we would call them rich, but rich people would laugh at them,
Yeah.
So the medium rich people, they, the reason they have money is they either, very seldomly there are people that won money, just like whoever's going to win on Wednesday, or there are people who just go and do, and they just make money. And they're not even worried. Like, I bet, there's some people in his position that have no clue where to go get a Powerball ticket, don't know how much it's worth right now, they don't care. Now, he would because he has a podcast that has a news girl, so, he's going to hear about it.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, don't give a fuck.
Well, it's hard to miss, but okay, so now that we're pretty much done talking about that, what would you do? Number one, would you take the annuity or would you take the lump sum?
Lump fucking sum.
Now, why?
Because I have a brother who is a genius with money. He just doesn't have a ton of it.
Okay.
I'm telling you, he made half that I do right now by himself and was buying a second car, a house. It's nuts. It's nuts how he knows how to use money and move money.
And he has kids?
And how credit works. Yeah. And, I mean, they make a lot now, but they've built a life, with, hard work and stuff. But that's the thing. That's why he wanted to be a CPA. He understands money. So, I mean, even when it was, I think like 400 million, I said, well, you're going to get like 125 million or something. I said, I can't think of $25 million of shit I'd buy. Like, even if I bought everybody I like the house. Not a retarded house, but it's, a house. Like, pay off everybody I know, their houses they live in currently.
Right.
And, like my parents, they wouldn't want to move. I want their house, but they wouldn't move. My sister loves the house she's in. There'd just be upgrades to all these houses. And there's not much more to pay off on them. Right. I mean, it'd be $1 million paying off all my family's houses. I mean, and that's a lot of houses. Then, then I buy me a house, and then like a car, pay off my car, pay off my bills. Like, I'm still only $2 million in.
Yeah.
And then, but my plan was to take $25 million, do something with it. Because that's what people do. They blow all their fucking money. You take $25 million and be like, this is the money that when it's gone, I'm okay. And then you give that $100 to my brother and just be like, make that money make me more money. I mean, and that would be his job.
Well, that would, that's kind of like, I would like to use it to, obviously I would want to make more money on the money, but it would also benefit other people because it would create jobs. And specifically, I've always wanted to open a Baja Fresh not too far from the Taco Bell that has had a monopoly on Wise Avenue in Dundalk for a very, very long time.
Oh, yeah, they run that shit like, it's like, we're the only game in town, and fuck you if we give you the wrong stuff.
Oh, and their drive-thru is out to the street sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Somebody had a picture on Facebook. They were all the way down they were nearly to the gas station. And it was ridiculous. And he's like, I have to believe that not all these people are going to Taco Bell, that some of them don't even know that they're in a line for Taco Bell. He's like, but I'm here, I'm waiting. But, yeah, so, I mean, I even thought, that's exactly what I thought too. Is create jobs. But I create jobs for the people that I could utilize. Like people I see that struggle. Like I'm telling you, we would have a studio, and it was just like I said the last time. It was real big. I would buy a house. I would build a studio. I would have a schedule for podcasts and whatever we were doing. Mm-hmm. And anytime that studio wasn't being used for that purpose, you could use it for anything not illegal.
Right.
Or maybe partially illegal.
But as long as I don't get caught.
Yeah, I'm a little flexible on that. So because we're going to be doing CAG hit, and that's going to get a little bit illegal, but after the fact.
I was thinking about it, and I would produce the TV shows that I've been wanting to produce for a long time. I would do every episode, except I wouldn't do vigilantes, and the reason for that is these government fuckers would want to try any way they could to get my money from me.
Oh, for sure.
So at that point, doing anything like that is off the table for me, just because of that reason. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't necessarily hire some other people and pay them in cash to do the things that I would like to do. But it would always be cash. It would always be through somebody not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would take the annuity. And the reason that is because even though I think it would be like $900 million for the lump sum,
yeah,
there's still a chance that you could possibly spend that much money. There's been people who've won like $500 million, and they spent it all. I don't know what they spend it on.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
A big ass.
That's why I said because well, you know what? Sometimes it's like people embezzle money from them, and then once that happens, you're fucked. Like Dane Cook's brother was running his Dane Cook empire, and he fucked them out of like many millions of dollars.
How?
And he was like, all I can do is make him go to prison.
Right.
I can't recoup any of that money. We could sell some of the shit he has, but he like burnt it all, like Brewster's Millions style, like taking people to dinners and shit.
Yeah, well, that's why I would do the annuity, because, like you said, after about $2 million, you would spend pretty much what you would need to spend for like normal stuff. The reason I would take the annuity is, all right, let's say taxes are about half of the money, so you do the math on $1.4 billion, and that's like over $40 million a year, I think. Divide by 2, that's like $20 million a year. Okay, I would be perfectly fine with getting $20 million a year, guaranteed for 30 years or 29 years, whatever it is. And if I blow all my money, guess what? January, whatever, next year, I'll have another $20 million.
Yeah. Well, that does put you on a budget, but that was the idea that I had with, like I said, we're talking about $400 million at this point. You get $125 million lump sum. 100. Even if you put it in, short-term investment things to get your walk-around money, $100 million is still giving you $2 million a year for fucking around money.
Yeah, and that's $2 million is like what a lot of people make in their lifetime. So you'll be set. And like I said, my whole thing is I want to be home and I want to do the podcast. Like that would be my job. Like I'd probably find other shit to do, like other shit to get involved with, but that would be my job. And then live the life I had. It's kind of weird to say, but before I got married, but where I was a scout leader, like do shit I'd like to do. Right. Yeah,
so
I genuinely enjoy making videos. So I would actually, people would call me crazy. It's like, they say, well, why don't you just be, just enjoy the money? I'm like, I've actually been doing that. Like not doing much. It's like, well, I wouldn't be, number one, I would definitely travel. I certainly would like to, to take trips to wherever I want. But the main thing is, number one, I would give to the people who actually, like, that I actually have talked to in the past year, the past 365 days.
Yeah.
The ones who weren't assholes, I would
damn, that cuts me out.
No, it doesn't. They would all get $1 million. Not necessarily everybody in the same year, but
Oh yeah, because you're getting annuity. Yeah.
yeah, but like, I would certainly spread it around. Anybody who asked me for money would not get anything. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me for money just for whatever, I'm not going to do it. But if you were good to me, then that'd be cool. Yeah. So with the exception of very close people, that would be like maybe the only exception. But like random people, dude, I'm serious. When I don't know if you had seen my post, but if I actually do win, I will quietly accept the money. Luckily in Maryland, we do have anonymity.
Yeah.
Which I'm so glad they passed that law, because I think that was ridiculous that they would announce people who have a ton of money. Like, that's just setting people up for assassination.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the first thing I would do. I would not tell anybody. All of a sudden, I would disappear, and then I would, like, anonymously send the money.
Yeah.
People would figure it out, but they would have a tough time tracking me down.
Yeah.
Because I would actually hire somebody. Well, I don't know how I would. The problem with property is maybe I would just rent, because then I wouldn't be on the radar.
That's what I was thinking. We could put stuff in storage and then just move around the world renting places. I'm not like saying I want to go off the radar and to avoid taxes or anything. No, I would certainly pay the taxes. Just like I said, the government has no excuse to put me behind bars. Yeah.
But I would want to avoid, having somebody wanting to hunt me down. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think I have any enemies, but people would get jealous.
Oh yeah.
And it's, you got to avoid that craziness. So like, I think the only way to avoid detection, avoid getting on property records, is to rent.
Yeah.
And to buy a car in cash.
Yeah.
Like not from a dealership. Well, I guess when you title your car, that doesn't necessarily go into a database. You got to get a driver's license eventually. But I don't know how the public records get out there. I know property records is one thing. Credit report. I don't know.
Yeah, people are going to eventually figure it out. A lot of people are going to eventually figure it out. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's not going to be a lot of people who care.
But I will say this. This is a true story. Remember the guy named Bunky who won?
Yeah.
Okay. Bunky won. I believe he won Powerball, or was it Mega Millions?
I don't know. I just don't. You're not a fuckload.
Yeah. Okay. So Bunky's daughter went to Dundalk High School.
Yeah.
And I know a teacher who I'm not going to name on here, but I know a teacher who taught his daughter, before he won the money. And this girl barely had any friends. And once everybody found out who won the money, all of a sudden everybody wanted to be that girl's friend.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
Well, he went on 98 Rock and said he wasn't going to move. And then he was like, shit, I have to move.
Yep. Yeah, it sucks, man. It really sucks that if you get to a certain level of money, you have to buy, a house that's secured.
Yeah.
And away from other people, because it's just everybody knows, and you have like a higher chance of being people stealing your money, and mo money, mo problems, as my friend Puff Daddy says. my friend if I win money. I always I always post messages on this one girl's Facebook page. I said, if I ever become rich and famous, I will ask you on a date. That's the truth. Because that's just that's how it is, man. I mean, it's the truth. Money's important, but I always say, guns, then money, then laws. But yeah, this is awesome. I hope whoever does win, needs the money. I hope they're good people, whoever they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope they do some good shit with it too. Like, I don't want to see them on that lottery ruin my life or something, and like they ate themselves to 700 pounds.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would
crazy.
Besides people that I know, giving money to people I know, because the thing is, I'm not trying to buy friendships, which is why I'm only going to give it to people that who've actually been in my life.
Yeah.
The reason I would even do that is because this is what I would do to help them. I know so many people who, if they just got their major problems are money. And it's not,
of course.
Yeah, and that would just make make them happy, make their lives easier, and then I would also donate to legitimate charities, or I would actually donate directly to the people who actually get the stuff done, not the charities.
Yeah, well, that's important too. Like, particularly with like I said, is doing with the smaller amount that I've talked to people about. Every year I could still donate because, like I said, I have a house, a car, and like I said, I probably would just fix up the car I have now. I honestly would, or I'd get something bigger that I could tote the kids around a little easier. Like, because I don't care. Like, that's what people talk about all the time. Like rappers with cars. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't need that because I like driving, but I like.
Yeah.
I like the feel of just driving. It doesn't have to be a certain kind of drive. It doesn't. I
don't know what I would get. I would definitely get like a daily driver. I'd probably get I don't know. I'd have to look into that because I haven't really looked at cars in a long time.
That might be a situation for me too. Like if we have the studio somewhere else other than my house.
By the way.
What?
Speaking of which, I would actually, I think that's one of the things I would do is I would basically pay you to make the podcast.
That'd be fucking awesome.
And like I said, I would really just like to do the things that I would like to do that I don't have enough money to do with TV shows and stuff. 'Cause like literally it'd be like, look, I have all this stuff I want to do. I would need crew to get it done. So that I could do it fast, because the biggest thing holding me back is I have to do everything. So audio mixing, shooting, editing. If I could spread that out to different people so that the main thing I'm focusing on is writing the script and getting whatever needs to be shot done and handing that off to somebody to edit, color correct, and audio mix after I train them, of course.
Yeah.
With the audio mixing, because I already know people who are good at color correction and editing, and that's what I would do. I would literally hire them people to do my bidding, and that sounds wrong, the way I say it, but that's what a job is. You're doing somebody's bidding.
Well, I mean that's what I had in mind for, like, if we want, because like I said, I'd always been talking about this smaller winnings. But we're at some like, not life-changing money, like many, many lives-changing money.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't want to sit in a house and just be. That would be the boring. I would kill myself. I'd be so bored.
Right. And the other thing, because I said I'll travel, but man, I've just, going on vacation normally, it's exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
like, I mean, even though you're relaxing on vacation, you still got to like get on an airplane and deal with that. And like, you're constantly moving when you're on vacation because you want to maximize your vacation. And I like your idea of like, you rent a house for a year in one area of the country, and then next year you move to another area of the country and rent another house.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, in between, you go, you're renting that house. I mean, how much, honestly, like I said, how much would I want in a house? I just want it nice. I want my clothes there. I want my, a TV, I can sit in front of.
Yeah, I mean,
and then after that, like, that wouldn't cost that much. I mean, mostly, even L.A., I could get that for $3,000-4,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I have, like I said, I have assloads of money. We're talking about $900 million now.
Yeah.
Instead of the 100 and so. So I have a fuckload of money.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally rent a penthouse apartment in New York City for how much money you have for a year, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's what I mean. I would do that, and and then if I just didn't feel like being there for a while, and like I said, I wouldn't vacation just a vacation. That's when you get that much money, and then now it's a game changer. Now you go and you're like, I'm gonna do this. Like I'll podcast at the Coliseum. I'll figure it out.
Right.
Some ridiculous shit.
I would do, honestly, man, I just found this channel before we started recording. It's Adam Savage, and I always forget the other guy's name. Mythbusters. Jamie Heineman, I think his name is.
That sounds familiar.
The guys who do Mythbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. They started a YouTube channel about, I think, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Called
Tested. And all they do is they test new technology equipment.
Huh. And
it's got like, a million views. And this is literally like the channel that I would have if I had that type of money. I would, I actually enjoy, doing that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just you can only put out so much because you only have so much time to do it. And that's what I'm saying is like, you would have, you wouldn't have unlimited resources, but you would have so many resources that anything you could think of, plus other people that you hire to think of other things to do, you could have a staff of like 10 or 15 people just...
Oh, yeah, like writers, like you would have writers, in a writing room for a show.
Exactly. Their only job is to come up with ideas and a script, and then, that process moves things so much faster.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. And like I said, I just found this channel, and that's literally what they're doing, is because they have all that Discovery Channel money just sitting around, and they're like, well, fuck it. We love gadgets, and let's make a channel about gadgets.
Yeah.
So like they just did, they were covering the, what is it called? CES convention. Their normal thing, they upload like 3 videos a day almost. About different technology, you know what I'm saying? And it's because it's no different than like a car assembly line. When it comes to media production, you have your, you shoot the footage, and then it gets sent to the editor, and then you stream, as long as you're streamlining it, and as soon as the editor's done, they can send it to the audio mixer. Audio mixer starts, and the editor can start editing something else while the audio mixer is mixing. You know what I'm saying? You can't edit video and mix audio at the same time. You had to concentrate on one or the other. Now, of course, you can do audio mixing like a little bit, but you certainly can't be shooting while you're editing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I think that's what they're doing, man. This like Tested channel. So check that out. Anybody listening? Tested. I think it's just youtube.com/tested. They're a verified channel, and they got so many things. It's not even funny. They're basically what Consumer Reports should have been doing a few years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Consumer Reports, they're a nonprofit, but they got a lot of money from subscriptions and all kinds of things, and they squander what they're able to do.
Yeah.
They really, really do. And so like I said, Tested is a channel I'm going to be looking at and just out of curiosity. I guess a lot of people watch it for that reason, but that's like something that I would do if I had the money for it, man.
Yeah.
You just have so many ideas, and I know you have a lot of ideas yourself, and it's just a matter of not having the time and the resources to do it.
Yeah.
It sucks, but.
Well, I mean, one of my biggest things I talked about before is trying to figure out how to employ, like, the people I know. Like, coming up with, like, getting everybody I know that's in a shitty job and they've been trying to, fight their way out of it. Get them doing something for me and let them do it, let them do their thing until, do that until they figure out what they want to do. Like, I mean, I know people that honestly just go further in their career. They need more education, and it's just not that possible with the job they have now. Well, fuck it. I mean, I can find something for them to do.
Oh,
in my company.
You just gave me an idea, and I'm gonna record this so I don't forget it. I'll put it in the final video too. Just out of spite, I will open up a media production college as close as I can to Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. And I will let people come there at a break-even point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I will only charge what it costs me to employ professors and pay the electric, pay the rent, and pay the maintenance fees.
Yeah.
For like janitors and anybody, with construction-wise. So it would be like half the tuition or less of Full Sail with better instruction.
Yeah.
And I want to put those assholes out of business for what they've done over the years.
Oh, yeah.
They have fucked so many people over with not teaching them properly, with, promising them the world. Because that's one thing we won't do, because it'll basically be like a non-profit school.
Yeah.
We'll tell people up front, like, look, the industry is very tough. We'll teach you what you need to know in order to get a job. But there's no promises. Even if you're like the best in your class, you might not be able to get a job when you're done.
Yeah.
But I'll still do that, like I said, out of spite.
Yeah.
That to me could be the ultimate troll.
Well, I mean, for instance, one time I told our friend Cassie that I'd make her she'd be senior vice president in charge of birthday parties.
Yes.
And I was like, because we're gonna have a lot of birthday parties that need to be, handled.
Heck yeah, man.
I was like, there's kids' birthday parties coming up, and I was like, then, I mean, come on.
Why not?
Be, 30s and 40s.
I wonder what Brandy's trying to do.
What do you mean, with school?
Yeah.
I don't know, but she could, she told me what she was trying to do in school. I didn't think of it.
Right.
Anyway,
whatever it is, I would like to find her a job too.
Yeah. But I mean, like my sister has missed like a calling in like PR.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's the first thing I'd do. I'd be like, you're working for me, done all these weird ass jobs you're good at also, but you're not that's not your best skill.
Yeah. Well, I working on a TV show with the guy who helped me the most out of everybody. He even said, hey man, if this does end up working out, I wouldn't mind doing this for a living. I said, what, help me like carry stuff around? He's like, yeah, man, being your personal assistant. I'm like, hey, as long as you don't think it's like, a denigrating job to you. He's like, hell no, I understand, that you need help with what you're doing. I said, yeah. I said, it's definitely, I understand why celebrities have assistants after doing the production.
Yeah, well, and you know what? Being a celebrity's assistant, that's a great resume thing. Two of Adam Carolla's assistants went on to be, huge CEO guy. Well, one's like he's a FSO, at some company, and the other one is like the assistant to a CEO. And he's like, that asshole makes more than me. So, all right, well, I think we should wrap this one up.
Yeah, so, I mean, I wish you luck in winning. I assume you're going to be buying tickets, or you already did buy tickets.
No, I haven't yet. I thought I was at a gas station where I could, and I couldn't.
Okay.
I bought 3 last time. I'm going to buy 3 this time, and everybody in my family's hoping that since my grandmother passed on last Wednesday, that maybe she'll put in a good word
that'd be cool.
for one of us. And yeah, honestly, if anybody won, like if that was a possibility that, like, you know, there could be some sway in heaven, I think my dad would win, because I think he would be the most generous. Because honestly, like, everything that's around him, when like he has this big comfy chair that he sits in his living room, and anything he can touch within his arm's length of that chair and where he lays in the bed is all he needs. And he says it all the time. Now, there would be a few upgrades of things, and he'd probably get a couple surgeries. Mm-hmm. But no, it's going, you know, everywhere. That's
right.
Like I said, he's going to be the most generous with it.
Yeah. So, by the way, I accept your offer to record podcasts if you win.
Hell yeah.
And
that's all I'll do.
And please give me room and board too.
What? On the opposite?
Well, I don't know how much money we're talking to do this, but just as long as I'm doing something where I could invest in something else, I'm not, something reasonable. I'm not like saying a lot of money, but something reasonable, not like $18,000 a year. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm saying that it would. Oh, you mean I would charge you?
No. Or
if I win.
I'm saying, well, the plans you had before was to buy the house you currently live in, and then turn that basically into the studio.
Yeah. But you'd be in the house. You could live at the house for free and make whatever money you can on that studio.
Okay.
You know, and that's your money, free and clear.
Awesome.
That's it. And I figure, and I wrote that off the other day as, I'm not really paying Adam anything. He's paying himself, and he doesn't have to, pay for living anywhere. Like, oh shit.
Well, exactly. So that's what I'm saying is, like, if I had that, then I would want to be able to make money on top of the podcast somehow.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. I would still pay you for the podcast, for the editing and stuff that you do.
Okay, cool.
But it would be, like I said, down hours. I don't care because you live there.
All right.
So huh?
I will seriously turn it into a part-time porn production studio.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you live there. You're the only one that could call in a noise complaint. So if you're doing shit at 2 a.m, who cares?
All right, man.
I mean, even after that, I would still probably end up putting a studio in my house.
Yeah, and
I can wake up drunk 3 a.m. and do a podcast.
I will seriously hire Jonathan to be I'm gonna hire him and get a contract where I can't fire him for like 5 years or something, for him to criticize me, him and EJ, because they are not scared to shit talk me, and I need the shit talking.
That's funny.
Like, I enjoy, because sometimes they sway me to change my mind, which is a good thing. I don't, and I even said this to the other guys. I said, I am not looking for yes men on this production or any production we do. If there's something wrong with what we're doing, please tell me. I might not agree with you, but I'm not gonna like kick you out of the crew for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's the worst thing I can get, is to have people constantly agreeing with me. And like I said, I would.
Annoying. You can tell too.
Yeah, I would literally. I would hire him to be like, I guess consultant would be the best. And actually, doesn't EJ do that already? So I could.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah.
That's his actual job.
There we go. So I would literally have them guys like saying, dude, what are you doing?
Oh, no, look, that's what, like, how cool would that be if, like, your job, like, you literally had to put on, like, a resume or something. Yeah, I was Adam I was Adam Reuter's shit talker for 5 years. That was funny shit.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like that wouldn't even be like it wouldn't even eat up a lot of time. I wouldn't like have them working 8 hours a day. It would just be like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm planning to do.
It'd be one of those things where it's an all-day job, but technically, no hour job. Where all day they would just see what you post and stuff.
Yeah,
and they would just talk shit.
Yeah. Yes, but they would need to give me like alternatives to any shit talking though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Unless it was some really ridiculous idea, but then they got to list the reasons. Like, it wouldn't just be like, this is a bad idea. You got to give me reasons.
Oh, trust me, EJ's going to give you reasons.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I trust those two guys to give me honest critique, which is what I would pay them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the reason I would get a contract is so that I couldn't fire them.
Yeah.
Because it would be like a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, well, it would give them full powers of what they really need to be doing.
To talk.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can't remember can't remember what conversation it was, but there was a time where like I didn't want to talk to somebody because they said something, but then like a few days later I was like, they're right. I don't like that, but they're right.
Yeah.
And that's what, like I said, they're like about the only two guys. Maybe my dad. I would also hire my dad.
Oh, your dad would shit talk you forever.
Oh, he does every day.
Yeah, he'd be like, and every time you went to hand him a check, they're like, no, I'm good.
He probably would do that too.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh man. All right,
man. I really have to go.
All right. Well, thank you. Like I said, I hope you win. I hope I win. Either way, we're winners, and that's it.
Winners never quit, and quitters never win.